What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fairly Decent podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and today we're going to keep it in the friend group and talk about one of my boys, CJ. He goes by the name CJ the Prophet. He's an artist out of Richmond, originally from Newport News. So yeah, let's go ahead. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe button, make sure to leave a comment down below, and let's get started. And right off the bat, I don't know if y'all can tell, but my voice is a little scratchy. My nose is a little stuffed up. I'm getting a little sick, which is not good for me. But we're gonna push through it and make it through. So as always, we start with new music around here, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. And like I said, this week we're gonna highlight my boy CJ. He goes by the name of CJ the Prophet. He currently is out of the Richmond area. That's where he lives and does all of his recording and does all of his shows out there. The Richmond scene is a really, really good scene for those of you who don't know. I actually had the joy of experiencing it last week, and the Richmond scene is really its own thing. Like, you know, you have your New Yorks and all these major cities. Well, Richmond is right up there with them, I would say. Maybe not on a national level, but as far as local artists and actually getting together and doing shows on a weekly basis, Richmond is right up there with the best of them. And so back to CJ. Me and CJ have actually been friends. This year will be 20 years, which is absolutely insane to say. But me and CJ met when we were both 13, I believe, maybe 12, but I think it was 13 in the 6th grade. We just were kind of friends with a lot of the same people. So when we got to middle school, you know, the elementary schools combined into middle schools. And me and CJ almost right away, we're good friends. And CJ has always been into music. He was in the band all through middle school and high school. I wanted to be in band in middle school, but they wouldn't let me join after 6th grade for some reason. So I had to wait until high school. Either way, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, CJ has, for as long as I've known him, been really involved with music in so many different ways, not just recording. He plays multiple instruments. He knows how to record, knows how to mix, knows how to always make beats. I mean, he does it all when it comes to music. So I think that really reflects on why he's so good as an artist today. I think he's taken a lot of that time and growth as far as, you know, playing instruments and learning melodies and learning really how to piece music together and not just rap over beats. You know what I mean? Like, he actually is one of those artists that knows how to piece music together. And now that I think about it, CJ was actually the first person that I rapped with. I had I had done music before me and CJ actually started recording together. Like I said, we've always been friends, but we actually never really made music together until far after we became friends. But he was actually the first person that I actually rapped with. And he actually was the one that sparked that. He randomly saw some of my stuff that I had recorded and posted to Facebook, and he hit me up and was like, "Yo, I didn't know you made music." And I was like, "Yeah, a little bit." And he was like, "I make music too." And in the back of my head, I always knew that. And I was like, "Oh, we're cool. Like, so let's link up." And then we did. And from there, I mean, Jesus, me and CJ have probably recorded, I would say, anywhere between 250 and 500 songs. I mean, so some people say that's not a lot, but to me, that's a lot. I mean, if I do the math right, I think we have 3 albums, 5 EPs or mixtapes, and countless singles that we just put out as Lucy's. So to me, that's a lot. I mean, that discography alone, just me and him as partners, that's a lot. Now, I'm going to let CJ tell you better on his own discography, and I'm just going to freestyle. This is not accurate at all, but I think in the back of my head, I have somewhat of a idea. I think I'll just do last year. Last year alone, I think he put out 5 albums. If that gives you any indication on how much CJ records and how much music he does put out. Like I said, 5 albums last year, I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's somewhere between either 4 or 5 or 6 albums. And some people may call them EPs, some people may call them mixtapes, some may call them albums. I'll just call them albums because the way CJ works is I don't think he thinks of anything else other than the album. I mean, he will put something out, like a lot of his projects are called Packs of Lucy's, but they're not just random songs thrown together. Like, there's still an idea behind the records. Like, he doesn't go into it just putting any random songs together and just throwing them out. Like, they still somehow like have some cohesion to the project. And that's kind of like one of the big things that I learned as an artist from CJ was that you can do both. You can map out a whole album and record that album, or you can just record, and have a bunch of songs and put them together as Lucy's. But the one thing that we always did was no matter what it was going for or going on, there was always a sound. So there was always a cohesive sound on all the projects that we did. And like I said, some of the songs came out as singles or Lucy's or just thrown them wherever. And some of them we put together as projects. But yeah, the one thing I learned from CJ is that you can do both. You can put out one song and then go ghost for 5 months. And then you can flood the streets with 5 albums in a matter of 6 months. And the good thing about recording with CJ that I learned, he always goes into it with a purpose, but it doesn't have to always say that purpose. Like, we can go into it with the title of the project before we even start recording. And that was a good thing for us because it gave us an end goal. So as we are recording, like I said, the sound doesn't always have to stay the same, but the end goal stays the same. So we might record 100 songs for the Soul Tape 2 and take 12, 13, 15, whatever many songs and put them together as Soul Tape 2. But if we put them out as 6 mixtapes, they would all be different mixtapes with all of the same end goal of Soul Tape 2, if that makes any sense. I know it's confusing, but there was always an end goal. And so, like, staying on that subject or whatever of there was always an end goal. The last project that CJ put out was a Pack of Lucy's 6, but right before that, he put out an album called Evolve. And this is definitely one of my favorite projects from CJ because, like I said, I'm going on 20 years of knowing CJ, and at least me, myself, I know CJ can do lots of different types of music, but normally he stays in the rap your face off category, which he is excellent at. When I say excellent, I mean excellent. CJ is a very, very good rapper. But speaking with him, because me and him always go back and forth with music, speaking with him, he wasn't tired of rapping, but he wants to be known for more than just rapping. CJ is very good at making all types of different music. So I think with this Evolve album, he calls it experimental. I don't think it's experimental because the way it sounds like he knows exactly what direction he's going for when he puts it out, which is, again, goes back to the same thing I was saying before, that there's always an end goal. And CJ does that really well. So I don't call it experimental. He may call it that, but I don't, just because, like I said, it sounds so cohesive that it doesn't sound like he was experimenting. It sounds like he already knew what he wanted it to sound like, and it came out that way. I think he calls it experimental because of the sounds of it. It's not a whole lot of boom bap rap. It's a lot of interlude style music. It's a lot of live instruments. It's a lot different tempos. It's not just your standard BPMs when you hear rap songs. There's a lot of melodies involved in it. There's just some words involved with it. Not always necessarily singing or rapping or whatever. Yeah, so I love this project. My favorite song is called Heads or Tails. It has a lot to do with kind of what we were just talking about in changing the sound. And it might go deeper than that, but I'm just going to give the surface level of it. It's talking about choosing a side. One of the main lyrics is, they don't want to change and I don't want to stay the same, which to me coincides with Probably some internal stuff, but also probably some external stuff when it comes to music. Like I said, he calls it experimental for him. I don't think it is, just because I know how talented he is. So I already know when he went into this song that he kind of already knew what he wanted it to sound like, and I'm pretty sure he hit it right on the head. I think the reason he uses the word experimental is because for him, it's different than the music that he usually puts out. Like I said, his inner circle, like me and some of the other boys, we know how talented CJ is, and we know that his music understanding is far beyond rap. Like I said, at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, CJ is a very talented musician. It just so happens that he can rap really well too. So I think for him, he looks at this as like a risk, or like I said, just something different that people aren't used to hearing from him. But I think he hit it right on the head. I love this project. It's called Evolve. It's definitely a part of my rotation. If you're a listener here, please click the links down in the description. I'm going to leave everything down there for you. Go check him out. As a brand new listener, fresh ears, I know you guys are going to love it. It's something for everyone. It's not just, like I said, rapping all day long. It's got melodies to it. It's got live instruments. It's got interlude style music to just chill to. It's something to play and listen to on your headphones, and it's something to play like in the background, kind of like this podcast. You can listen to it whenever and wherever. So yeah, go check that out, please. I'm gonna leave everything down there. Thank you to CJ for allowing me to do this. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I think now is the perfect time. We're gonna get into some of the more personal stuff when me and him get together and do a podcast together. I think we're gonna do that sometime later this month. Please go give him a listen. And thank you again, CJ, for letting me do this. It really does mean a lot. I can't wait to see what we have coming here down the road. I mean, me and you know what we have going on, but it's going to be exciting when the people get to see it and hear it. So yeah, thank you again, C. Love you, boy. Ooh, that felt really good. But this is a half-hour podcast, so eventually we had to get to some bullshit. So let's go ahead and get to our bullshit for this episode. Kanye West is back at it again, and would you know it, he's still talking crazy. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I honestly couldn't care less. All of these rants and stuff that he does is usually combined with some kind of rollout for something that he's got going on. And would you know it, yeah, he has an album and a new pair of somethings coming out, and he can't just put them out like a normal person. It always has to come with some sort of Kanye, where the world hates him and everybody's against him and he's a god and we don't know shit about shit. And I've matured enough now to where I'm like, good, I don't want to know shit about shit. Whatever you got going on, I don't want to know about it, because it seems like a pretty not so fun life. And I listened to the rant and I tried to keep up with whatever he was saying, but it was just all over the place. I mean, it's fuck this person, fuck that person, we created it, we broke the doors down and they held us back, and it's white people and it's Jewish people, and it's just too much. Like, there's no like real complete thought when he goes on these rants. There's no actual thought. It's just one run-on sentence that literally has no like core or like any sort of like meaning to what he's saying. It's kind of just a word vomit. Like, it's so hard to understand what he's trying to say, because at the end of the day, I think he's just frustrated with himself. I don't know like exactly what his problem is, but it's just not working for what he's trying to do. Again, he lists all these names of people and companies that have done him wrong and haven't given him a chance, or have given him a chance, and then they blackballed him. I mean, like I said, it's just so hard to keep up with what he's actually trying to say that it's going to be hard for anyone to get behind him besides the 50 idiots that he has in the room with him. I mean, it's just going to be hard to get people behind you when we really have no idea what you're talking about. And like I said, I've matured enough now where I'm glad I don't know what he's talking about. It just doesn't sound like anything interesting to me. It doesn't sound like it really is anything. There doesn't sound like an end goal. It's just kind of whining for no reason. I don't understand it. But yeah, he's got these new, I don't know what to call them. They're kind of shoes. They're kind of socks. Not exactly sure. He calls them Yeezy Pods. And if you haven't seen them, go look at them. I'm not sure I can put a picture up here for y'all because of copyright and stuff. I don't even want to fool with it. But yeah, go look them up. Apparently you fold them from your toes up to about your knee. It doesn't really go all the way up to your knee, but it rolls up like you would put on socks, kind of. I don't understand them. They look hideous. I'm not exactly sure what direction he's going with these. I'm sure he knows and can tell you all about it. I have no idea, so go look at them. Bring it back to me. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not exactly sure what setting you would wear these in. Maybe to climb a mountain or maybe swim in the ocean. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, go look at them and let me know what you guys think. It's just sad because, he used to be like the fashion dude in hip hop. Like his style was always ahead of everybody else's. And I guess according to him, or maybe in his own head, he is still forward, but I just don't see it. I used to love those Yeezy Boosts when they first came out. I thought those were an exact representation of like the style he was going for, but I just don't know what he's doing anymore, so it's not for me to decide, and I'm just going to leave it at that. If you love him, cool. If you hate him, cool. I don't really care, to be perfectly honest. All right, so enough about Kanye. This topic came across my way a couple weeks ago. Me and the fam were talking, and has anyone else noticed that tipping has gone out of control? Like, have you noticed some of the places that are asking you to leave a tip? It's not just your restaurants and car washes and stuff like that anymore. It's some of your favorite fast food places. If you haven't noticed it, next time you go to some of these fast food places, check it out. It will blow your mind. Now, the one I encountered was Subway. And so I went in, walked into Subway, went to the counter, ordered my sandwich, ordered all my toppings and all that stuff. And just like a normal Subway order, got to the register, went to pay for it, and used my card. And there was a final pop-up that said, would you like to leave a tip? And it gave you options of 10, 20, 30, up to 40% tip at the register. And I thought to myself, that is so odd. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe it's not that odd. I mean, they are making my food, but again, that is their job. So I really want to know what you guys think about this. Me personally, and I'm sorry if this sounds rude or whatever, but I'm on the absolutely not side. Like, why am I going to leave you a tip for doing your job? The reason we do it at restaurants is because they don't get paid much by the hour and they work almost solely on their tips. People at Subway get paid minimum wage, if not more. So why would I leave a tip to them when their job is to make my sandwich? That would be like going to Ace Hardware and somebody showing me the right tool that I need for my project, and then him getting a finder's fee at the end of it for helping me find what I need. Like, no, he's just doing his job. The person at Subway is just doing their job. That doesn't leave any reason for me to leave a tip. And then I thought, well, no, that is every reason to leave a tip, because they're making your food for you, but then that is their job. I don't know. It's a really weird conversation that we had amongst my family. Everybody was kind of on the same side of absolutely not. I'm not going to leave a tip for you doing something that you're literally getting paid to do. But I really want to know what you guys think. If anybody is on the opposite side of, yeah, I tip everywhere I go in every way I can. I mean, it's rough times out here for a lot of people, so I don't know how successful this tip system is at some of these places, but yeah, I'd like to get y'all's feedback on whether or not you guys are pro or against this whole new tipping system. And I'm going to end it with that question. Yeah, make sure you guys leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Send me a message. Contact me any way you can. You guys have all my socials. Please make sure you guys go check CJ out. He goes by CJ the Prophet. His latest album, Pack of Lucy's Volume 6 is out. The one we got to today is called Evolve. Go check out CJ the Prophet on all DSPs, all platforms. He's all on there. Go check him out. He's a great artist, one of my best friends. Thank you guys for coming back again. This is another week, another blessed week. Thank y'all for returning. We got 2 episodes in this week, which I'm really glad about. I want to start doing this on the regular. I'm going to do one more episode before the holidays, and then we will be back sometime in the first week of January. So yeah, thank you guys again for coming back, and make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, contact me on all socials any way you can. All of the support is appreciated. It's loved. I love the community that we've grown in such a short period of time. Let's continue to grow, and let's continue to stay fairly decent. Peace.